Toastmaster Merla Atwood-Pawar. It's good to see each and every one of you today, and I am excited to introduce this speaker. Roy Ganga is a top-rated keynote speaker delivering motivational and inspirational talks on leadership, change management, creativity, innovation, self-confidence, and finding your purpose. He has over 30 years expert management experience, leading people through effective listening, giving, and receiving feedback, conflict management, delegation, cultural diversity, and ethical leadership. Roy is a credible resource on social issues, including suicide awareness and prevention, bullying, family disintegration, domestic violence, and sexual abuse. He is the president and founder of Energize Your Voice. His passion for motivating and inspiring people drives him to connect with other individuals. His passion for motivating and inspiring, His passion for motivating and inspiring people drives him to connect with other individuals to inspire them and motivate them to realize their full potential. We are all not perfect, that's absolutely sure.
Here today, District 47 leaders, how is everyone doing? This is a beautiful Saturday morning, and we took the time to make sure that we can come out here to hear our presenters. Can you guys hear me? Okay, because something just popped up on my screen to say unmute myself. Okay, it's great to be here again with all of you. And in this new virtual reality experience we have gotten so accustomed to over this past year, almost all of us have kind of learn and understand this medium. And although we may like it, we can't wait to get back to socializing. Oh my God, how much I miss that. I want to come down and put my feet in those beaches in Florida. Gosh, I can't wait for this to be over. I know I have my assistant here. Louis is going to show my presentation for me and help me through this journey here today as I navigate this new environment that we are in. We heard about the importance of effective communication, effective leadership, as a matter of fact, from our past RA. And then we just heard about critical thinking from our current RA. You know, these are important lessons we can apply in our daily activities. So let's make sure that the things that we're learning here today, we can take them back and apply them not only in our personal lives or Toastmasters journey, but in our professional journeys as well. So now we will talk a little bit about the objectives of this program, right? What am I going to be talking to you about here today? We're going to look at best practices of mentoring members. Each of us, when I say each of us, every single one of us have different approaches, but the important elements is to ensure the proteges are getting the full value of your wisdom and your expertise. We will focus on key areas of the importance of effective mentoring and building that mentor-protege relationship. Guys, this is an interactive session, and we know what interactive means, right? You just don't sit there quietly. We have attendees. I would like you guys to participate. I would encourage all of you to put your answers to questions I may ask in the chat, but that does not prevent me from calling on a few of you to answer verbally. Are you ready? Okay, let's get moving. What is mentoring? All right, now I'm gonna look at here and I'm gonna see who I can see on the screen here and have one of you tell me in your words, what is mentoring? Jose Torres.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you for that question. What is mentoring? Mentoring, to me, is sharing, providing what you your experiences to a member so that they can grow via that training, via that information that you give them on a day-to-day basis or weekly, however you set it up. But it's actually you being an example, you sharing your experiences in that role or in that experience, in that area, and really connecting with that protege so that they can feel your experiences.
Awesome. You are on the track there, right on the track. Now, if I can have Roxanne Hosen, I think Roxanne Hosen, can you read that for me? And let's see if it ties back with what Jose just mentioned. Roxanne, I know you're there.
I am here. Hold on. I can speak, but I think I just lost my sound.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I can hear you. Yes. What was your question?
Go ahead and read what's on the screen right now.
Mentoring is a one-to-one relationship between an experienced professional mentor who shares their knowledge, skills, and experience with a less experienced professional protege to assist in their constant progression.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Roxanne. Yes, and that goes right back to what Jose said, and I saw a few things in there as well. It's about transferring those skills, right? The mentor explores with their protege the current situation, what they wish to achieve, and how to go about doing that. It is important, and remember this, it is important to assign mentors based on the goals the member is trying to achieve. You know, sometimes members come into our club and they see somebody who they would like to be their mentor. So if a member identifies someone that they prefer to work with, check with that individual first, right? Check with them to make sure that they have the bandwidth to make or to take on that responsibility before assigning it to them. How many of you, and this is by, you can raise your hands in the reaction feature there, right? How many of your clubs have a mentoring program? Okay. Right, there are quite a few of you, right? There are quite a few of you that have effective mentoring program. What I would like you to do, those that raise their hands and have an effective mentoring program, can you share that information with your with your program quality director so that she can take that and consolidate it together and maybe share it out with the rest of the clubs in the district so she don't have to recreate that wheel. We'll take the best practices from each of the clubs and make sure that we can get that information out there. Now, how many of you felt that you were effectively mentored? And raise your hands again. How many of you felt that you were effectively mentored? Okay, yeah, we got a few there again that tell the effectively mentored. For the ones who did not raise their hands, and maybe this is one person who did not raise their hands, why do you feel you were not effectively mentored? Any one of you who did not raise your hands? Remember, this is an interactive session, guys. Okay, don't be shy.
Hi.
Go ahead.
This is Hope Barton. When I joined, I don't think we really had a mentoring program. The club was pretty new. It was about a year old. And I did learn, but I didn't have a specific mentor assigned to me at the time. However, I did sort of receive mentoring just by following the example of other members in my club. And since that time, I've been mentored. But if you were asked about when I first joined, if I was mentored, not really, not right then.
Okay.
That was a very long time ago. So that was 20 plus years ago. So
wow, long time. We're dating ourselves, right? But that's good. That's good that you share that at least, because we want to make sure our new members don't feel that way. We want to make sure our new members, when they come on board, somebody's there to help them and guide them through the process, right? Now we're going to talk about the importance of member mentoring. Can I have another person tell me, why is mentoring important? How about you, Yvette? Yvette Barr? Okay, Yvette.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Mentoring is important, and I'll speak as a new member. Coming into a program that's new to me, but I know what I want to achieve. Mentoring will help to give me the confidence and further assure me that I can do this and make it happen. Thank you.
Good, perfect, thank you. Well, setting up the right mentor-protege relationship involves creating a safe and supportive environment where both mentor and the protege can engage in building trust with each other. They're setting goals and achieving them, right? Making sure that those goals are achievable that they're setting. And creating problem solving and solutions for them, because they're going to run into problems within the club. They're going to run into problems within their projects. And this is where the mentor comes into play to help them and guide them through that process. So let's share some of the best practices around these three areas that we're going to talk about here, right? Member interest, Toastmasters International access, and getting acclimated to the club. So first thing I want to ask you guys, how do you know or find out about the members' interests? And if anybody here is a vice president of education in their club, maybe you're the ones that need to answer this. How would you know the members' interests?
I usually ask them what their goals are for being a Toastmaster personally and professionally. And usually I get the answer. I ask them about their background and things like that, cultural background, if they're single, married, children, all those things. And with that being said, then we are able to navigate through things even more smoother.
Good. Yeah, talking to them, having that conversation. But there is also a tool that we have in Toastmasters International that I would love every single one of you to do. Are you familiar with the member interest survey and the new member profile? The member interest survey and the new member profile, these are the two forms that are displayed now on your screen, and they are available on the Toastmasters International website. The links are at the bottom there in the resource area of the Toastmasters International website. Every member should be given these forms to complete and return to the Vice President of Education. Have a new member complete the new member profile, because this is where you're going to get the information on what it is that they're looking for on their Toastmasters journey. And every member, every single member in your club should be given the member interest survey at the beginning of the Toastmasters year. And the reason being that their goals may have changed from the previous year. So let's say last year you may have a goal that you want to make sure that you can stand effectively in front of a crowd and give a speech without having those butterflies in your stomach. Well, the course of last year changed. Right? So now we're sitting in a virtual environment, so your goals have changed. So if you don't tell your mentor what is it that you need, or if you don't complete that, you would know if their goals change or not. So please make sure that every member in your club fills out that member interest survey and turn it back into the VP of Education, and then share it with the mentors as well, so they know exactly what they need to do with their proteges. Now we're going to talk about TI access, ensuring that when you sit with your protege, I want you to make sure that you ensure that the member understands how to log on to the Toastmasters International website. A lot of members don't know that they have a profile on the Toastmasters International website. Have them review their profile information when they log in and walk them through accessing the educational program. Have the new member take the pathways assessment and let them select their path. because that's the only way you can get them started on their journey. Show them where other pertinent information resides on the website, such as a resource link, where you can find those 2 forms that I just displayed. Next, get them acclimated to the club culture and the processes in your club. If your club have a website or a social media platform, show the members how to access that information. Walk them through the process of signing up for meeting roles and highlight any specific practices that your club may have. In my club, for example, the Sergeant of Arms starts the meeting with a club mission. I know for a fact there are some clubs that start their meeting with a joke. They have a joke master. Some start with a pledge. And some start very formal with a motion. That freaks me out when I go to a club that starts formally with a motion. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get on my Robert's rules immediately here. But share with them those best practices that happens in your club, the common things that go on there. We want to make sure that they don't feel left out, they understand what's happening. Now let's look at the mentoring and mentor part. When you look at mentoring, and think about this, because when you look at mentoring, who do you think need mentoring?
Everyone.
Everyone need mentoring. Why did you say so? Who's the person that answered that? Why did you say everyone?
I said it, Roy. Austin here. I say that because as Toastmasters, we know there's always room for improvement, and there's never a moment where we have perfected communicating or leading. Therefore, I think that it's always valuable, no matter how much experience you have or how much wisdom you have, you could always learn from someone else. And I often find that when I'm the mentor, I learn a lot from my mentees that maybe they weren't expecting that I would learn from them. I feel like I sometimes learn more from them than they may from me. So I think it's a lifelong process.
Exactly. It is, regardless of how seasoned you are, everyone needs mentoring. I'm an international director and I have a mentor on the board, right? I have 2 mentors actually on the board that works with me to make sure I understand what's going on. In my club, I have somebody as well that mentors me at the club level. So each of us, regardless of how seasoned we are, we should have a mentor. New members, based on what we spoke of earlier, and the existing members should have a mentor to make sure that they go through their journey and make sure that they understand what they need to do. So each person can benefit from that mentoring to help them achieve their specific goals. So thank you, Austin, for bringing that up. Now, who can serve? Well, before I do that, let's say we talk about existing members. So let's go ahead. Who can serve as a mentor? Quickly, who can serve as a mentor?
With Austin and say that everyone can serve as a mentor, just like everyone needs mentoring.
Yeah, and this is one area that I often hear where when I go to clubs, I often hear they say, we don't have enough experienced members to serve as a mentor. And I shake my head and I said, oh no. Because let's say, for example, in my club, if a new member come on board and I'm assigned their mentor, and I'm working with them and showing them the ropes and telling them what they need to do. And then within 3 to 4 months, another new member come in. But everybody in our club, their bandwidth is so tight that they're mentoring people or they're doing other things. They don't have time to mentor somebody else. I can turn to my protege and say, guess what? You can mentor that new person. And they may look at me with a little fear and apprehension. And I would say, no, you can do it. Because everything that I have taught you for these 3 to 4 months, you will impart on that person. And as the months and the weeks go by, you will learn more from me and you will be able to impart it on that person. So let's give people the opportunity to do that because they're learning in the process and they're developing some leadership skills in the process as well. So make sure everyone should be able to mentor. Now, the mentor-protege relationship is a collaborative one. And when I mean that, the 2 of you are going to be hooked to the hip. One where bonds are formed. And it requires that you have patience, You have employed that active listening skills that we all know about, and willingness to share and learn from each other. Because effective mentors and protege relationship is a two-pronged approach in which both parties feel committed to the outcome and they share a desire to learn from one another. Because mentors take the initiative to introduce themselves to the protege and find out what interests and their goals. They establish a communication plan and a development and a progress plan. They provide support and they provide direction. The protege, on the other hand, take a proactive approach to reach out to the mentor with questions, with concerns they may have, the processes, the best practices, etc. within their club. Because both mentor and protege should meet frequently to review their progress. So it's not that you're being assigned somebody and then you talk to them when you feel like talking to them. No, you should meet frequently to help them through their journey. And at the same time, you're learning as a leader. So mentoring is not indefinite. It is for a set period of time. Typically, it may go through for us in Toastmasters, it may go through the first 2 levels in pathways. And I would also add the completing of every club meeting agenda role. So let that person understand and get a feel for the club meeting. Every single role they should be able to complete with ease. Don't be forceful. Be a motivator to them.
You have a question. How often is frequently?
You can meet weekly. You can meet monthly. Maybe if you have weekly club meetings, you can meet right after your club meetings. If you have, twice a month meetings, meet after the club meetings, just, for a few minutes, or set up a phone conversation, to go over where they are. But try to make sure you make it happen. Okay. So work with them for their next challenges. Make sure that they can do that. And I see Lewis is left there. But at the same time, as you're doing this, make sure that you include pathways. I talked about that just now, right? Don't forget pathways, because you want to make sure you can explain the pathways process, or if you don't understand it, find somebody in your club that will help them navigate the pathways system. Within the first month of joining a club, the member should be ready to give their icebreaker speech. We have some more aggressive members that want to give it right away, but I would say within that first month, they should be given their icebreaker speech and sign up for different meeting roles at every meeting. For your mentors, anybody who's going to be serving as mentors, right? For you, I strongly recommend you take the Pathways Mentoring Program if you haven't already done so. There's lots of good information to help you become a better mentor. So don't think of it as another project to work on. It has that tidbits in there that will help you. Okay, can I have Linda? I see Linda on. Linda, can you please read what you're seeing on the screen there?
Relationships encourages members to continue progression with their personal goals and educational achievements.
Right. So to make this relationship successful, commit to each other, develop trust, plan your goals, and collaborate on the results. Mentors understand your protege goals, provide support to them, coach them for success, help them get acclimated by showing them how to do it. Just don't tell somebody how to do something. Show them how to do it. Get them there and hold them accountable. Proteges, ask questions. Go ahead, ask any question. No question is a dumb question. If you don't ask it, then it's a dumb question. Be accountable for your development, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Because I can tell you to make sure you attend Toastmasters, or I can tell you do something in your personal life. But if you don't get up and do it yourself, there's nothing more I can do. So be accountable for your personal development. Be committed be open to new ideas, and follow the recommendations from your mentor. Because the mentor-protege relationship does not end once the protege achieve their desired goals. No, we want it to continue, because that deep bond formed during this period lasts forever. And we can all attest to that. We've had mentors that we work with, and we can look back at our journey and we can say, yes, here is something that I learned, and this person really got me to where I need to be. I know I can look back on several of my mentors because they're the ones who helped get me where I am. Because that deep bond formed during this period will last forever, as I said. People remember good mentors and mentees throughout their life. They cite them for examples, they use it, they understand the inspiration they have given them and the faces of the challenges that they have faced. Their path may go separate ways once you finish, but it's that journey. It's that journey that really stays with them, and it stays with them forever. So make it enjoyable, make it fun with them. Get them to understand that this is a journey that we are here together, and we are going to make sure that whatever knowledge that you have as a mentor, you are going to impart it on them so they can be successful. Now I will open this up to questions and answers. We have about 10 minutes more, I think. And I want to make sure that all of you can ask questions to me, and let's see how we can get there. Because I want to make sure that all of your clubs have a good mentoring program by the time you finish here today and get back into your clubs next week. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Jonathan, you look serious over there.
Talking to me, Jonathan?
Yes, you, Jonathan.
No, I think, again, it's a very important point about the mentoring and protege relationship. One of the things that I had the benefit of having a great mentor when I first joined about 6-7 years ago, Joan Daly, who is actually an area director again with me this year as an area director, was my mentor. And she was very open to helping me out. And I think that was one of the reasons why over the first 6 months, I went right from being Toastmaster to being club president and stepped up to serve. So it was awesome to have that mentor-protege relationship to learn more about Toastmasters and the leadership and the ability to serve.
Awesome. Can we have somebody else there? I'm going to pick on you if you don't ask. And don't turn off your camera because I can still see the name.
Question from Samantha. She's asking, what is the maximum amount of proteges we should assign to a mentor?
It depends on the mentor that you're assigning to, because if it's somebody, and I'm going to use myself as an example again, or maybe Gadalis or Lana, because we have went through the program and we understand what's going on, we may be able to mentor more than one individuals, right? So we can help a few. I wouldn't want to overwhelm them. So talk to the mentor when you're assigning to them. If they already are mentoring somebody, talk to them and see if they can take on this additional person.
This is Toastmaster Maria Davis. I have a question. Is there an official end to the mentorship relationship, or does it just fizzle away?
It's not an indefinite period, right? So you want to make sure that you set your goals with them and you're working with them and said, here, I'm going to help you through, and I like to say the first two paths and pathways. Right? Help them navigate those first two paths, because after that, they understand the system, they know what to do, and help them through the club environment so that they can understand what goes on in the club as well. So once you feel that they're comfortable doing that, you can relinquish your reins and let them go and do their stuff. And then they should be able to mentor somebody as well.
Thank you.
Yep. Caroline Stephan. Oh, she.
We did have a question. Let's see. It was, how long, this is from Andre Nujo, how long should the time frame of the one-on-one relationship be?
Well, the one-on-one relationship, it comes back to the same question that Maria just asked. Again, you don't want to rush them. You don't want to just leave them high and dry. You want to make sure that they're comfortable before you let them go. If you see that even after, because some people are slower, right? And some people are faster. If you see some individual picked it up faster, you may be able to back off a little bit, right? And let them go. But if you see them doing something that is not right, sometimes you may just want to talk to them. Same thing with the ones that are a little bit slower. You may want to work with them a little longer to get it. So again, the relationship, that one-on-one relationship, depends on the individual.
I have a question. What was your favorite mentorship relationship?
I am going to tell you, when I was an area director, and I think my, Lana McFarland was the area director with me at the same time, we had a district director who was very motivating. And she took me under her wings and showed me things that I needed to do. I think that tap on the back that I received that say, here, you can do it, that's what motivated me. And a lot of us in here didn't think that we could excel to club leadership, but somebody sees something in you. You have the potential to do it. And if somebody come to you and say, I think you are ready, listen to them and apply that. Lana mentioned in her presentation, when I was a club president, I approached her and I said, you're going to be sergeant at arms. And I was serious. And she thought I was kidding, but she realized how much that meant. And when she took on that journey, never looked back.
Thank you. And then we have from Jose Torres, should mentoring be part of every new pitch? Jose, can you unmute and explain that question?
Should mentoring be part of every new guest pitch? New person at a club.
Every new member, even your guests, when they come to the club, well, first, you don't want to overwhelm your guests, right? You want to make sure that they understand the program and sit there and get a feel for it. But at the same time, you would let them know that when they come on board, they are not in this alone, that they're going to be assigned a mentor, and that mentor will work with them to help them get acclimated. I see Edward is raising his hands over there.
Thank you. I didn't know how to get your attention. But anyway, so you're telling me every time a new member comes in, they get a new member profile plus a membership interest survey every year. So they know their interest and they're assigned mentors according to their interest. Is that a way to build up and then have a finite relationship with them?
Yes, a new member should be given the new member profile, because the new member profile have questions on there that will tell you what their interest is. But every existing member in your club should be given the new member, the member interest survey at the beginning of every Toastmaster year, so that they can fill it out and return it to you and say, here, this is my new goals for this year. Okay. Well, my time is up. I appreciate this very much. Remember, a good protege can be a successful mentor one day. Do your best to create a beautiful relationship that sows the seeds for many more in the future. Thank you very much for having me here today. I always enjoy coming to District 47. So thank you. Thank you, Shakira, for inviting me.